Hi everyone, I'm Sylvie and today we're gonna do a lazy girl no foundation makeup look. I just had a conversation with one of my subscribers slash friends about how as you age you sort of start to not care as much about doing like a full face or doing as much makeup. If you guys don't know, I am 33 going on 34 this year. So as the busyness of life and family life have picked up, I don't have as much time to do makeup anymore, nor do I want to. I just don't have that same desire to get glammed up every single day. When I'm around other people my age, other women who all have like children and families, I feel like when we go out every day, go to the grocery store, whatever, when I do the type of makeup that I used to do every single day, I just start to feel more fake. Not that wearing makeup makes you fake, but as you age, you really do start to get more comfortable in your skin. So yeah, after that long tangent, my subscriber was asking me how to achieve like a very minimal makeup look with minimal products and trying to just downsize everything, and this is what I do on an everyday basis. So this is my no foundation lazy girl makeup routine. But before we start, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell if you want to be notified when my next videos go up. The first product is a sunscreen, but this is a really important part of my makeup routine. It is the Artless Glow Tinted Sunscreen from Beige. I actually never heard of them before, but they reached out to me and they sent me a few things to try out, which I fell in love with like everything that they sent, and I use them virtually on a daily basis. Beige is a Korean brand, and not very long ago I started to get into Korean skincare. They're just so well formulated and very affordable as well. I've never liked wearing sunscreen. I've been looking for a good sunscreen for so long that is just lightweight, hydrating. I have very dry skin but doesn't feel like anything on my skin. So when I tried this, I was blown away. This feels like the most comfortable lightweight lotion on your skin. It is slightly glowy and it is tinted, so it's perfect, and it's not going to give you a white cast, and it's going to give you a beautiful like glow from within. I'm just going to go ahead and show you. So you're supposed to do the 2-finger method or rule, which is like 2 fingers worth of sunscreen. I'm just looking at my mirror down here so I can see what I'm doing. So I'm just putting all of that on, and you can see it's got a really nice nude tint to it, and then I'll just start to massage that in. So that blended in really beautifully into the skin. It just evened everything out, and I feel like this gives such a nice like filtered look to the skin, so it really helps when you're not using foundation on your face. But I love this sunscreen. I am definitely gonna restock this when I run out. Next, I'm going to go in with my beloved e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer in the shade Medium Sand. So I always take this on the back of my hand, and I take like a fluffy-ish concealer brush and I just grab the tiniest amount. This is very full coverage, and I love this tone because it is like a medium shade with a slightly orange undertone, so it's going to do a great job of correcting and concealing at the same time. Now, I am a little bit like very slightly tan, so it might look a little bit highlighty on me. I don't know, we'll see. But I think it's gonna end up being really good. So you can see that it's already covered so much, and it's correcting any darkness or hyperpigmentation really, really well. And then I'll just blend everything in with a makeup sponge. And then I'm gonna go underneath the eye, and I'm not bringing it like up right under my eye. I'm sort of going a little bit underneath, just like under this crease area. I don't like blanking out that entire eye area. I feel like it's nice to keep a little bit of shadow and definition. But yeah, for an everyday look, I feel like that helps it to look more natural and not as like makeup-y. So I've just blended that under the eye area, and then I like to take it just over the cheekbone here because I do have a little bit of melasma, so I'll cover that up with whatever is remaining. Then I like to just lift this area under the cheekbone. So this is like barely any product left on the brush, and I'm just sort of, sorry, I have to look in the mirror, just sort of evening that out here so it's not too shadowy. And again, just blending everything in with the sponge, and also using a sponge to press the product in is not only going to press the product in, but it's also going to take off any excess product that you have on your skin. And then in this corner area, whatever I have left on the brush, I just use it to sort of carve out this shadow area, so I'm using my hyperpigmentation that I have and I'm just shaping it out with the concealer. So I get this like shadow effect on the eyelid, but it's still snatched. And then whatever's left on the brush, I'm just gonna take on the sides of the nose because I get pretty shadowy there. And honestly, just using the smallest amount to conceal any shadows. And then I'll also take that in this sort of inner corner of the eye, and I'm not taking any extra product on the brush, and I'm sort of just shaping out that shadow how I want it. And then blend everything in with the sponge. And then I just have this tiny amount left on the back of my hand, so I don't need a lot on my forehead. I don't think anybody really needs that much coverage on the forehead, because most people tend to not have issues on their forehead, so just use the lightest amount. And also, if you do have wrinkles on the forehead, using a sheer amount is going to ensure that they're not sinking into your fine lines. So at this point you can go ahead and set your concealer, but this is where I like to go in with my powder, blush, and bronzer, because the tackiness that's still on my face from not having any powder on, it's going to grab onto my blush and bronzer in a more pigmented way. So normally if I wanted to do a full face or something, I would want to do like cream blush, cream bronzer, and then layer a powder bronzer, powder blush on top, just to get that like opacity and that very pigmented tones. But when my face is still tacky, it's going to give the same effect as cream bronzer and blush would, and it's just going to grab onto more pigment. So that's what I'm going to do. But if this is like a little bit scary for you, you can totally go ahead and set your makeup right now, but I will show you how to set after this. This is really painful. I literally just got this bronzer and I smashed it like 2 days after using it. But this is the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear Bronzer in the shade Medium. This is a new favorite bronzer of mine, and I just can't believe I've slept on it for so long, because it is the smoothest, most beautiful drugstore bronzer I've ever used. The bronzer that this reminds me of a lot is my Pat McGrath bronzer. It's so smooth and blurring, but it gives you this like matte, soft matte-ish finish. But anyway, I'll just show you the tone. It's perfect. So I've just gone in with the tiniest little bit. This shade is pretty pigmented, so I'm just gonna take it over here. Frick, I think I went in with a little too much, but we'll see. So it's a really perfect tone of bronzer. It's not like too warm or too cool. Always with the flushing in the building. This is my favorite sort of undertone of bronzer, where it's not too warm or too cool. It's just a beautiful neutral shade. I tap that on and you can see how much pigment that grabbed on, and then I'll go ahead and sort of diffuse out the edges here. And when you're putting powder on a tacky base, you want to just like press it on and stipple it on instead of dragging it, because dragging it is what's going to make it patchy and it's going to move around the product underneath. So I like to just press it on first, and then when I feel like the tackiness is gone, then I'll do like very light sweeping. And then I will take that under the jaw. And you can see how quickly I like to work with my products here. I really don't have a lot of time in the morning, so this is my quick routine. And then I'll take it on the same brush and I'll literally just like sweep it over the eyelids, and this gives a nice sheer wash of color, and just to give you a little bit of life and definition to your face. It's so awkward not being able to see what I'm doing on screen. With the smaller brush, I'll just take a little bit around the mouth. I always have to do this because it's just bringing that definition back to the center parts of your face. And I'll also go ahead and contour my nose. And then I like to just bring it here and connect it with the bronzer that I put on the eyelids. So I'll just sweep that in the inner corner. And then I'll take a little bit underneath the eyes as well. And then I press in all my products with my sponge, always blend in those edges. Because I have that glowy base and I have a really hydrating concealer on, I am also not going to go in with too much powder, so I don't bother to go in with a highlighter. I just use a normal powder blush, and I use a really sheer amount of a pigmented color so that it doesn't completely matte out my face, but it still gives me like a nice natural look. I'll show you how it works. I'm going in with my Essence, the blush in the shade Believing. It's a beautiful warm purpley tone. I take it on my blush brush and then I dab off the excess, and then I will just press it onto the peak of the cheekbones and work it up. And then once most of the product has been deposited, then I'll sort of bring it in closer to the nose and also work it up underneath the eye. I feel like that gives it a really pretty natural flushed look. And then I'll take some onto the temple as well and also sweep this on the brow bone. Everywhere, because you're blushing everywhere. You don't just blush on your cheeks. And do the same on the other side. So the nice thing about going in with the powder, bronzer, and blush on the cream and like the unset base is that the powder products do sort of end up setting those areas, so you don't need to go in with as much powder to set your face, and it really gives you a nice natural finish. This is where I'll begin to set the face, so I'm going in with my Huda Beauty Easy Bake loose powder in the shade Peach Pie. So I'll dump some out on the back of my hand, and I like to take a little puff and I will really work that into the puff, and that's completely worked in. And when that's worked through, I'll sort of flick it to get any excess powder out. I'll start going in the areas that I need the most, which is like center of the face where I tend to get a little bit of excess shine, and really just your T-zone area. I'm taking this over the brow bones to set that area so that it'll grip well for our brow products. And I feel like the only unset area left is under the cheekbones, so whatever is left, I'm taking it around that area and around the mouth as well. Do you see what I mean? It set the face beautifully, and it's not too powdery or too dry looking, and I still retain that natural glow to the face, so I don't need to add an extra highlight. So next I'm going to define the brows, and I'm using Maybelline Tattoo Studio Brow Styling Gel. This is in the shade Brunette. I hated this product at first, and I still have a love-hate relationship with this product. I hate this brush. This brush is too big and it gets really messy. What I like to do is I will take my e.l.f. Wow Brow and I take the brush that I have from there. This product is completely empty, so I literally just keep this brush for the Maybelline Tattoo Brow product. There is a learning curve with this brow product, and if you guys know me well, you know that my brows just don't hold up. My favorite brow product is the Beige Brow Styling Wax. It's one of the very few products that actually hold up my brow hairs, but I also normally have to do so many steps because I barely have any brows. But with this product, I only just need this one because it's pigmented. It's got, I believe it's got like brow fibers. So I'm just taking it off the brush here, and I will begin to work that through my brows. So I'm taking it, like sweeping that through my brows first in one direction, and then I'm gonna sweep it backwards and try my very best to coat all those hairs. But can you see like the pigment, and it just filled in the brows immediately. Now once you have that brow product on, you just want to leave it for a little bit and not touch it. I feel like the biggest mistake I made in the beginning was trying to like brush it through and try and make it stay right away, but you just need to let it set for a bit. So I'm just going ahead and taking a little angled brush and taking a little extra product, and I'm gonna have to look at my mirror while I do this, and I'm gonna use this brush to start sort of drawing in the rest of my brow. Okay, I feel like they're relatively even, but I just filled in the inner parts of my brows. And now that we've let that product sit for a little bit, I can just go in and slowly start to brush it up. And this is where the magic happens. Right now I might have waited a little bit too long, but do you see how nicely that just set. And then you can go ahead and continue to use that product to fill in any sparse areas. But I like to go in with my NYX Lift and Snatch Brow Pen in the shade Espresso. And I'll just fill in any gaps here. So that's the brows done. I had to go in and add a little bit of like a burgundy lip pencil to my eyebrows because my hair has burgundy in it now, so it's gotta match a little bit where it looks crazy. So at this point you can go ahead and add mascara. Half the time I don't wear mascara, I just leave it like this, but if you wanted to go ahead and wear mascara, you can. The one that I like to use is the L'Oreal Lash Paradise. This is my favorite mascara. I'm gonna put that on and be right back. And then last for lips, I like to fill in my lips with the e.l.f. Cream Glide Lip Liner in the shade Mauve. This has been my like everyday lip liner. I absolutely love the shade. It is like the perfect natural, but still with a bit of color shade for medium brown skin tones. I love that color on the lips. It's so beautiful. And then just to add a little bit of definition, I'm gonna go in with the NYX Slim Lip Liner in the shade Brown. This has been repurchased many times. And then to finish it all off, I'm gonna go in with my e.l.f. Pale Cloud Lip Plumping Pen. This is the pink one. I always forget the name, but I'll link it down below. And I like to just press that into the center, and this sort of lightens up that lip liner shade. So that is my everyday lazy girl no foundation makeup look. If you have any requests for what you guys want to see next, let me know down in the comment section, and I will see you again soon. Bye!